The famous photograph of the red flag over the Reichstag is known to absolutely everyone. But few people know about the fate of the man who managed to climb to the roof and install there the banner, which became a symbol of victory. Alexei Prokofyevich Berest was born in Sumy region near Akhturka. Besides him, there were 16 other children in the family. His parents passed away early, and he was assigned to an orphanage. In 1939, Alexei decided to become a volunteer and joined the Red Army. He took part in the Soviet-Finnish War, and during the Great Patriotic War, he became a deputy battalion commander from a simple private. In 1945, he was assigned to perform one of the most important and dangerous tasks. On April 30, the lieutenant had to raise the banner on the Reichstag. A company of machine gunners was covering him, and he and his co-workers climbed the column and planted the flag there. The command decided that this was not enough and sent Berest to the very dome, so that there the red flag would develop and prove the strength of the Soviet army. Alexei Prokopyevich later recalled that the enemy did not want to simply surrender. The enemy was firing incessantly at him and his fellow soldiers. It was so powerful that one of the statues on the roof had its arm torn off. Berest took advantage of this and threw a piece of bronze in the direction of the Germans. The enemy thought it was a grenade and stopped firing for a while. The lieutenant took advantage of this and deftly jumped to the top and placed the banner there. The historic moment was captured a few days later in a staged photo, and the picture with the hero and the flag in his hands was published in all world publications and became a symbol of victory. The lieutenant managed to pull off another operation, which few people know about. On May 2, a Soviet officer disguised himself as a colonel to persuade the Germans, who were defending the Reichstag, to surrender. The enemy only wanted to talk to an officer no lower than a colonel, and only the commander Stepan Nustov was around. The problem was that the captain was very short in stature, and the Germans might not believe him, recalled the participants of the battle. Therefore, it was decided to disguise the Dewey Berest as a colonel. Together with Nustov, they went to the enemy's lair. The conversation with the remnants of the Reichstag garrison did not go well. Berest said that he gives 2 hours to the Germans to lay down their arms. At the end of the conversation, he and Nustov turned around and confidently walked to the exit. A shot rang out. Later, Berest discovered that the bullet caught his cap and passed within centimeters of his head. After a while, the defenders of the Reichstag capitulated. The fate of the hero was not in the best way. In 1948, he was dismissed from the armed forces. The official reason: bigamy and addiction to alcohol. Berest did not dissolve the first marriage and married Lyudmila Evseva. Berest went to the birthplace of his second wife in the village near Rostov-on-Don. There began to work as head of the district department of cinematography until the hero went to jail for 10 years. Memories of his daughter. Once in January 1953, to him rushed auditor with an inspection and reported that in the hall at the movie screening people more than sold tickets. The fact was confirmed. It turned out that the cashier and accountant allowed more than 5,000 ruble shortage. A criminal case was initiated. The investigator at the interrogation began to accuse Dad of collusion with them. When asked why he could not believe a combat officer, the auditor wryly replied, "And it will still need to check where and how you fought. You must have been holed up in a warm place during the war too. Wait, we'll get there too. My father was always hot and quick to act, but here he couldn't stand it at all." He grabbed the frightened investigator, lifted like a child, and together with the chair threw out of the window of the second floor. After that, immediately initiated another case. After the death of Stalin and the arrival of Khrushchev, Berest was fully rehabilitated. The man returned to Rostov-on-Don. There he had children and began to work at the plant Rost-Solmash. November 3, 1970, because of a tragic accident, Berest was not. He stood near the railroad tracks at Selmash and saw how on the rails stood a girl. A passenger train was coming at her at full speed. There was no time to think. Alexei Prokopyevich made one more, his last heroic deed. He pushed the child away and died. In Soviet times, Alexei Prokofyevich personally did not want to award the highest state award, although his brave act deserved it. His co-workers and acquaintances, and he himself constantly wrote to Moscow. I believe that an unfair mistake has been made in relation to me. I personally installed the red flag of the regiment on the Reichstag, but my feat remained unappreciated, although those who were next to me were awarded. But there was no reply. The hero of the Soviet Union was awarded to the entire platoon that climbed the Reichstag. He personally was awarded only the Order of the Red Banner. A street in Rostov-on-Don and one of the schools are named after Berest. On the territory of Rostselmash, where he worked, there is a bust, and every year on Victory Day, he is brought flowers and remembered the hero's feat and just a good man.